Okay, this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can make this shit look good. Gotta leave it on 100. Wondering if I'm going to leave the contrast. Don't know how this is going to look, what we're going to do with it. Let's see what it is. Something boring. It is a Woman's Day magazine. So we'll just get closer to it. Yeah, Woman's Day. Typical. Silly. I don't know why. It's a bit sexist. Women's Day. Silly. Old-fashioned shit. This is just for the demos. I don't read this shit. I'm not interested in reading this crap. It's all about celebrities and bullshit, rubbish, boring, fucking boring. But we make some good demos with these shitty magazines. Now that looks really quite interesting. Wondering if we could use this. That looks, I'm wondering where the centre of this job is going to be. Gonna make it there. I wonder if we can do another one, make a better one. Let's see if we can make a better one than that. But basically, yeah, it's all about celebrities and fucking, money fucking and shit like that. Really, which is so boring. Yeah, that looks interesting. I think that one is a bit better. I've only just got his face just there. Women's Day. It's all part of the day, a woman's day. It's all part of the day. I think that's how it went, the old TV commercial for this, because I used to hear it on TV all the time, hearing the jingle. I used to watch a lot of I used to watch a fair amount actually of TV when I was young. And when I was a kid especially, I watched lots of it. So yeah, I remember some of the old commercials and the jingles that they had. Now that looks interesting. At least I've got his picture in the frame. I wonder if we're going to use that one. But basically, Women's Day, it is a bit old-fashioned, a bit sexist. Sounds a bit on the sexist side. It is a bit on the like that. Wondering if we're going to make it a negative positive, or we're going to leave it like that. But it's all sexism, and you know it doesn't play very well. I'm going to try another one, but basically I just hate the gender stereotypes in these kinds of publications that are really just old-fashioned shit, like what I would have seen as a child. You know, honestly, I haven't got time for this shit, except to use them as my demo pieces. I seem to be creating increasingly better iterations. I think maybe this will work. We got him, we got her, and the faces are all heavily distorted. I'm wondering where the centre of this job is going to be. It's a difficult one. I'm thinking it's going to be there. But anyway, I think we've done this. But basically, I just don't have any interest in reading this shit. It's really boring. It really doesn't do anything for me. So I'm going to use it as future art material. I'm not going to throw it away, even though I'd like to. Oops, this is about to fall down. Okay, let's get this happening. But yeah, it's really quite boring material. It really is. I don't understand how people, especially women, are just so wrapped up in their celebrities. Celebrities really, in the most case, they don't do anything really useful. I'm actually thinking we're going to do something with this. Maybe make it negative positive, see what we get. But it's really quite boring the way it's marketed towards women. I mean, surely there are men who also like to keep up with their favourite celebrities. But it's more often, it seems, more of a woman's activity, or that's how the advertising has been tilted towards. Let's see how this has turned out. Yeah, that looks interesting. I like the colours of the faces, and the red is a bit wishy-washy, but you can't help that when you do it like that. So yeah, this is an interesting take. I think that's going to be the centre. It's hard to tell sometimes if it's going to work or not. But, most people, it seems, like to worship celebrities. And there's nothing really that good about them. They all seem to fuck up in some way, shape or form. They don't seem to use their fame and fortune as a way of helping others who are less fortunate. You do get some that are like that, but most of them are just selfish and pig-headed. And they just get up to stupid activities, stupid this, stupid that. They don't have any idea what to do that's useful. I'm actually wondering if I'm going to just, I don't know. But you just get the feeling that they're not using their fame and fortune in a very productive or useful manner. They just seem to get up to trouble and doing stupid things and not caring about others as well as themselves. I'm wondering if this is going to be any good, or if I'm going to add something more to this. I'm just going to arrange it as is and see if it looks any good. I think the red is a bit wishy-washy, to be honest. But the celebrities just don't have any, they don't seem to have the desire to do anything useful, That looks interesting. Wondering, we're going to make this look better. I'm just going to get rid of these, and I'm going to just start afresh. We're just going to put this on the glass like so, because we're not going to enlarge until the final take. So we're still going to use that colour scheme, but we've got to make it elaborate on it. But yeah, celebrities have got to learn to use their fame and fortune as prime movers of progress. And I wasn't meant to print mirror image, and I wasn't meant to print 2, so I forgot about that. So I have to set this. No, I don't want 2, I just want 1. But basically, they just don't have any idea how to conduct themselves as citizens. They're famous, and yet they don't use their fame in a productive manner. And I'm just going to take these and put them aside. So I really get over these celebrities and their bullshit. They think they can do what they want just because they're rich and famous. They just have too much to do, too much shit. And they don't know how to use their time and their money productively. And I just don't like them. I just find them so annoying in the way people just worship them as such a nuisance. Such a nuisance activity, this worship. This love of fame and fortune just for the sake of fame and fortune. It should be used wisely. I believe that celebrity can be a useful tool, that fame and fortune could be used for something instead of what it does these days. If I could become a celebrity, I'd be doing my utmost to help the society, to help the world. I'd become a citizen of the world instead of doing this shit. Now this looks interesting. Her lips look a bit blended in. I was thinking that this was going to look like a better centerpiece, and we still don't have much of a border, so we don't need to enlarge it. But yeah, I do believe that fame and fortune can be a useful tool in the right hands. That these people with money can give money, and they could help the homeless, they could help the sick and the needy and the disabled, and make something of their life. Make it useful. Make it count. I'm actually going to take some of this red, or we're going to leave it. I'm just thinking. So, fame does have a place. It just has to be harnessed. Has to be harnessed and used wisely. Because to me, being famous should be classified as a privilege, not a right. We mustn't treat it as a right. We must treat it as a privilege, and that we use this privilege wisely, because it can be a very, very useful and powerful tool to help the world, to help society, instead of it being a junket of wealth, a junket of sex, drugs, alcohol and fuck all. We don't want that, folks. We want these rich people these famous people to do a good turn. And if they love what they do, that's all the more reason they should give more of their life. Instead of taking, instead of being selfish. We don't want these people we don't want selfishness in the rich and the famous crowd. We're not going to eliminate it, but we can try and minimise it and get these people to work. I don't know how that's going to happen, how someone's going to break through to these people and get them to rethink what it means to be famous and rich, to think that maybe they can make a difference. That's going to be a challenge. It would be a good thing if it could happen, if these rich and famous people could start moving in the right direction and becoming role models instead of idiots. Anyway, that's come up looking a treat. I think now we can call this prolongated demo quits.